Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Jane Theory. Today we discuss 21 Bridges. Okay, so 21 Bridges is described as a cop thriller. It's directed by Brian Kirk and stars Chadwick Boseman, aka King T'Challa of Black Panther fame, as the NYPD detective who joins a citywide manhunt for two alleged cop killers, played by Stephan, who previously portrayed civil rights activist John Lewis in Selma, and my favorite Gambit, Taylor Kitsch. The film is fast-paced, as one would expect, at least once you get past the initial flashbacks. Now don't get me wrong, those flashbacks do serve a purpose. They establish the background of the character, offer a little mystery as to who he really is and his motivations, and foreshadow an ending that brings this tragic story full circle. But the scenes take a little bit longer than necessary, in my opinion. One scene in particular, and you'll know it when you see it, could have been cut just slightly. The pace picks up from there when we flash forward to the present. We jump right into the robbery gone wrong. Several officers are killed in the melee, and as the suspects try to get away, there's this race against the clock. Literally, the suspects are trying to unload their bounty and get out of town, and the department led by the detective is trying to find them and bring them in, dead or alive. Now, the tech the department uses in the search, I don't know if it's real or not, but it felt a little over the top and looked like something out of Batman or something Tony Stark would have access to. If local police departments have this kind of tech, I don't know whether to be impressed by that or maybe even a tad concerned. But in any event, the detective, as you see in the trailer, he calls for the shutdown of all 21 bridges in and out of Manhattan. The hunt for the suspects includes everything you would hope for in this kind of film. High-speed car chases, crashes, shootouts, foot chases in traffic, people jumping through or being thrown through glass windows and surviving, and the obligatory underground New York subway scene. I enjoyed the action in the film. I mean, it was nothing groundbreaking, but it was entertaining for what it was. What distinguishes this film from, say, The Fugitive or Enemy of the State and similar on-the-run action flicks is that the story really revolves around the young detective himself, specifically how he is perceived among his colleagues. We learn early in the film that they view him as this rogue, hot-headed, quote-unquote, trigger, not as his true underlying righteous nature, which is revealed over the course of the film as his search for the suspects quickly becomes a search for the truth. Now, I love that the trailer for 21 Bridges didn't give away the entire story or the twist ending. Unfortunately, though, that means many people may be turned off by some of the apparent narrative and imagery, thinking this is a Training Day 2.0, where the African American officer is the bad guy, the one who justifies excessive force and violates people's rights. Basically, your stereotypical portrayal and the embodiment of the very thing African Americans have protested against for years. Well, surprisingly, that isn't this film. The detective is actually quite honorable. His integrity is unyielding. Consequently, the imagery by the end is that of a black man in a blue world who sacrifices nothing of his values to fit in. Now, I admit it might have been a better story if his character arc transitioned him from bad cop to good cop through his experiences and encounters, instead of solidly good the entire time, but we do see another kind of evolution regarding his perception of his colleagues and those around him. The detective's interest is and remains justice, but as he proclaims when we first meet him, justice comes at a cost. And it might be interesting to explore the cost we suspect he has to pay for what happens at the end of this film. Anyway, I enjoyed the film, and I would highly recommend that you go out and watch it and give it a shot. Thank you guys for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe. See you guys next week.